Welcome back to the MotorFab YouTube channel. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode from the Warwick No Prep. I had a lot of fun making it. It was probably the funnest episode yet. Really enjoyed that. And hey, there's Chevy Dog, Salady fan Chevy. He had fun out at Warwick, and thanks to the guys out there for letting Chevy come out and stay. We'll jump straight into it. Got a lot to get through today. We'll do a bit of work on the Monaro, but most importantly, I've come up with a little idea. Most of you guys probably watch the Cleetus McFarland channel. I know I do. I really enjoy it. And I've noticed on the channel that they've gone 7s in Leroy, and they're chasing a 7 in Ruby. And I noticed they mentioned quite a lot that they're chasing that first 4-second 1/8 mile pass, and they want to do it on the channel. I'm chasing my first 4-second pass too, and I'd really like to do it on my channel. So let's have a bit of fun with it, and let's see if this little Aussie channel over here can get the attention of a big American channel, one of the biggest, I reckon. Cleetus McFarland's channel is awesome, and I'm gonna call him out and see who can get the first 4. And obviously the planets might not align because you got different when he can get to the track, when I can get to the track. That's if he notices us down here. But yeah, if that's the case, well then we'll see who goes faster, just for a bit of fun, bit of laughs, see how far we can take this thing. And so yeah, getting his attention is going to be the hardest bit, I believe. My first opportunity to get to the track will be Kenda in 2 weeks' time, the Radial Redemption. So I'm going to book the test day and the race day, and I'm going to try to put down my first 4-second pass. Then, hopefully, I want to give it, fingers crossed, give it everything I got. I've made many attempts before and fallen a little short, but this time I'm going to put it all on the line and see if I can make it happen and try to film it all and get it on the channel for you guys. So let's see if we can get the attention of Cleetus McFarland and see if he's willing to take the challenge. And hopefully, he's got access to go to the track all the time, but hopefully... hopefully he's getting ready for Rocky Mountain Drag Week, I think they call it. I think he's just made the change from taking the Dale truck to taking Leroy because he's got the few new competitors. He's got Finnegan and Blasphemy and a couple of other cars, quick stick shift cars. So now he's got a bit of competition. He wants to retain his purse. So yeah, I would assume they'd be testing and getting ready and stuff for that. So whether he wants to try to put down that 4 or accept the challenge or what, but let's for the first part try to get his attention. If any of you guys watching are friends or follow Cleetus McFarland on any social media platforms or can get his attention any way, shape or form, obviously let's do it respectfully. Some of the Aussie slang gets misinterpreted by people from overseas, so we won't get into the banter too much until we get the race done. But sorry about that. Let him know if you've got him on any social medias, comment on his stuff, send him a message, let him know the MotorFab YouTube channel, a little channel down in Australia, a little old ute called Bumpin is wanting to challenge him. For those of you who don't know, and if Cleetus gets to watch this video, nothing to be scared of. It's just a little 383 combo, which is a little oversized in the bore, so it's out to 388. Small block Chevy. It's 23-degree heads, old school stuff. It's a dart block, dart heads. It's had a CNC port job through the chambers of a set of Dart Pro 230s, I think they were, and a hand port job through the ports. So there's no fancy stuff, no O-rings, no fire rings, nothing like that. Set of Cometic gaskets, set ARP, standard size small block Chevy head studs. It's got a single GDX 5533 Garrett, belt driven fuel pump, billet atomized injectors, Haltech ECU, Jessel shaft mount rockers, solid roller cam, power glide behind that, 9-inch behind that. It's a very simple combo. Just seems to work. The car is 3,440 pounds, I believe, last time we weighed it. So it's pretty heavy. It's all steel, all glass. It's wind-up windows, still a stock floor pan, leaf springs in the back, stock cross member in the front. It's a very sort of streetable style car. Yeah, I don't know much else about it. It's all pretty basic. I built it all myself, and with the help of a few friends, I put the engine combo together, tune it myself, drive it myself. It's like I say, it's basic. It has gone 780, which is pretty similar at times to what Cleetus is capable of, that's for sure. And there's no new surprises on there. I'm not going to go out there and rotate the earth in a new way. I think that'll be a good close matchup for Cleetus cars. He's obviously got the LS platform. He's got some big dollar engines starting to come into those cars. And I see he's got Kevin tuning them, and they're starting to go faster and faster. So I just think it'll be a good bit of fun, and yeah, just something for shits and giggles. And let's see if we can get his attention and get a race with him. So I got something else very exciting to show you guys. This month's Street Machine. Amazing magazine. We've all grown up with it. Should have bookmarked the pages so we knew where we were going, but we'll find it. There we go, pretty close. They have, look at that. Look at that beautiful, one of the most beautiful cars. I'll just get the glare off that to graze the pages of this fine magazine. There's the shop. You guys have all seen that before. So they've done a pretty cool little story on the Monaro. Really chuffed about that, which I knew was happening because they did the photo shoot, which we showed you guys on the channel. And what I didn't know was happening, if I can find it just quickly. Here we go. This is the article from the No Prep that we raced the first one we did, which you guys saw on the channel as well. Excuse the glare, and look at that. I believe Rick Walsh, who shot the Monaro shoot, was responsible for that amazing photo of bump in. So yeah, stoked about that. Absolutely chuffed. Amazing work, and yeah, good photo. I really like it. Sorry about the glare from the lights, guys, but yeah, pretty pumped about that. And Steve Kelly, another amazing photographer from Street Machine, actually shot the ute just last week, which will be in the next month's edition, I believe. And I've got some footage of that photo shoot to show you guys, so I'll leave you with that right now.
Follow white rabbit. I'm taking potions, call me Alice. Watch me grow taller. Yeah, rabbit's watches in his pocket. Yeah, he stays late, but he leads me, so I follow. Wandering around in Wonderland, wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Wandering around in Wonderland, wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Follow white rabbit. I'm taking potions, call me Alice. Chatter with the flowers. Watch the seconds turn to hours. It's time for high tea. Madmen in hats and cats up in the trees. Wandering around in Wonderland, wondering how or if I'll ever get back. Wandering around in Wonderland, wondering how or if I'll ever get back.
Righty, the carburetor, when we did the startup the other week, been a while because the other no prep and stuff, so the poor old Monaro has been a little neglected. Did a seat and a shifter and some wiring and switches last episode. This episode, when we fired it up, the episode before the other no prep, I just bolted it down with a carby without our nice billet NX nitrous plate. So just to get it running, now I'm going to take it off, put the plate on, and start mounting up nitrous solenoids, fuel solenoids, stuff like that. So I'll show you through that. I mentioned earlier, I'm trying to stick with you probably can't see it back there on the camera, I'll show you later, but trying to stick with this is just a dummy we get to get some lengths right, but I'm going to make a nice rod for that. Try to keep the factory throttle linkage right through the car, just with the addition of a little custom rod on the front there. So just because I think it's cool, it's something different. I normally do a cable, but let's do something a bit different. And yeah, righto, let's rip this carby up and put the nitrous plate on and start mounting some solenoids. I've lost my spanner. I'm off to a good start. Really lost my spanner. I had it before. This is why I don't do too much live action stuff. I get lost. Actually, really don't know where the spanner's gone. I had it before. Now I've lost it. Cut. We're back. We found the spanner. You're wondering why I'm not using a socket, because it doesn't fit past there. It's a bit of a pain. And I don't have a 1/2 inch ratchet spanner, which is really annoying. That's alright. I've got 13 that should probably fit, but it's alright. It won't take too long. Of course the stud's going to wind out, not the nut come off. Always the way. We'll zoom past this with some music behind it, so it all happens really, really fast. You won't have to worry about a thing. You reckon somehow Mother Nature knows, the universe, whatever the hell controls weird shit, that the exact tolerance where it feels too loose with the spanner, but as soon as you put your fingers on it, it's too tight. It seems to happen every bloody time. See the gasket sticking way over, so I'll mark that out and get rid of that both sides, and then pop our new gasket on the top, and we can bolt it all down. Well, we're back. I've deliberated. I've decided this Aeromotive reg I bought is a 13301. Comes with, you can just see in there. Sorry, I'm reaching out over the stuff that's in front of the car here. Comes with an extra spring, as you can see there, and look at that brake kit there. Comes with an extra spring, so it does carby and EFI. Comes with this cool little bracket that I just had to put an extra fold in and drill 4 holes to mount my solenoids. Fuel system on the top, nitrous solenoid on the bottom. So the fuel feed will come up from the fuel tank into here. The return will drop out of there and go back to the tank. That one come from the pump. That one can go to the tank. That one will get blocked off, or a fuel pressure gauge. And this one here will run around to a carburetor feed. So that'll be nice and easy. And then we'll go over the fuel system. I've got that little reg for the nitrous fuel system. It's a bit ugly, so I'm going to mount it out of the way a little bit. And then the nitrous lines. I've got some, but not all. So we'll set that up. But yeah, that's got the bulk of it mounted up. Now I might make a couple of lines up and just use what I've got here and keep plugging along. Righto, so next we've got the purge. It's my favourite bit I'm looking forward to. Purge the shit out of that thing. This is just brake line, so there's an olive in there. I've got some more brake line upstairs. I'll route up another nice neat line to bring it up through the cow van or something like that, so we can. So I'm back here nutting out the fuel system. Ignore that one, I haven't finished that one yet. Rather than just start making hoses, I've probably spent about an hour planning out where it goes, because it was a while ago that I laid all the pumps and stuff on here, so I couldn't really remember how I intended it. But this is our basic fuel tank here. We're going to come out of our tank. So I have to really strain to get this angle. Out of our tank into our pump, out of our pump into our filter, out of our filter up to our regulator. So that'll be nice and neat. And then I'm just messing around with the last bit of the nitrous system, trying to come up with something to go here to here, and then into a little filter, and then around there off to the nitrous regulator. So I just usually start making lines at one end, because it usually ends up a mess, because we've got quite a few lines and little bits and pieces in there. You remember many episodes ago we made this little tray up with our pumps and filters and stuff on it. So now we're going to start plumbing it up. So what I got a fair few fuel lines to make. Some fuel lines, some nitrous lines, a bit of wiring. Nip these on here so we can take the zippy ties off. Tighten all the fuel lines up, bleed the brakes, and transmission dipstick, and the cooler lines. So yeah, getting very close actually. So I'll put some glass in it, finish off a bit of panel stuff, and yeah, drive this thing. So it's getting pretty close. So just thought I'd show you guys how sort of nutted it all out to try to make. You've got to get you can't have, even this one here, see that hose is going to be slightly offset to that one. It's not a problem over that length, but if you're trying to go there to there, for instance, the hose doesn't want to kink like that. It just doesn't work. You got to make the hose work the way it wants to work. So I'll do that. For those of you who haven't made the fittings before, or everyone's got a different way of that, but I'll show you through my way as well. Righto, braided hose tip number 2. First was lay out your design before you start. Number 2 is, it's going to be really hard for me to hold the camera and do this, but I'll explain it, and you'll just have to get the gist of it. Keep a bit of old hose, or some, if you can, because one, you can sort of bend it up and work out what will curve over the distance and what won't curve over the distance. And 2, you can hold the hose up where you want to put it, run the hose, hold it in place, and then put your thumb where you're going to cut the hose off, other than trying to measure it and guess and then cutting it too short and throwing a bit of hose in the bin. So from the job before, always keep a bit of old hose. Makes life a lot easier. Tip number 3, if you're doing a whole car, buy yourself a set of these. They're cutters for the thing, and you can see they wrap right around, they cut it and they squash it, and you get this line that we bought for the car. See, it pulls the, just trying to get some focus here. It pulls the hose in when it cuts it, so it fits nice into the fitting. The way most people do it is run some tape around it and cut it with a grinder, and the tape stops the braid flaring out, but it only stops it to a degree, and it's still, they can be a bit of a prick to get, and then the hose sort of deteriorates where you cut at the grind. It works okay, and I did it for years until I bought a set of cutters, but a set of cutters makes it so much faster. You don't get all the shit splintering off everywhere. They're just so much better cut. There you go. When you cut them with the cutters, and it makes the fitting so much easier to make. Righto, I'll get to the next bit, show you some more. So mark that bit of hose, our old hose, get our length right, mark that, transfer it across to a new hose, and I'll show you how these things work. They're really good actually. Do them with your hand, or you can do them on the ground. And then you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. There you go, nice little cut. Amazing. Brilliant stuff. So let's make some hoses. It's actually been a while since I've done these. Tend to try to stick to fabrication a bit more, and not so much to building cars. And my cars have been built for a while, and my ute has, but about to do a whole lot more. See, when they've spread out, they're a pain to get in there, and you end up poking yourself. And I don't know what the hell they coat this with, but one little jab from it, and it stings like shit. I don't know why. Don't know what's on there that makes it sting so bad. Now, I'm going to try to show you guys. The critical part of making these things is how far up or down that you put the hose in here when you push it in. Everyone's got a bit of a different theory, I reckon. I ain't a hose professional. I'm a fabricator. I've just done these to get by. No one's ever really showed me how to do it properly. You can see in there, but if you push it all the way up to the thread, you ain't never going to get the thing to do up. So, if you push it, there's 3 little marks in there. I like to push it to just past the middle one. I could be totally wrong about that. Well, just up to the end one. If you go, like I said, if you go all the way to the thread, you won't get it in there. If you don't go far enough, it'll push back out when you make it. So you want a good seal, so you got to get it in there far enough. So actually, sorry, I was wrong. It's just up to the last line, and then there's a gap between the last line and the thread. But every manufacturer is different, so they all look different. And then the other thing I like to do, saves yourself a lot of stuff around, is put a screwdriver or something in there. And then flare them out. Once it's in, makes that part a hell of a lot easier. Of course, I can't find a grease. Usually I put grease on here. I can't find the grease. I don't know what the boys have done with it, so just going to use a little bit of Vaseline. So now I have to put a little bit on the thread too, so it doesn't bind up and burr up when it's under pressure. It takes a bit of pressure to get them to go on sometimes. So you got to get it past that bit of tube first. We've got the jaws for the vise here somewhere, but I'm going to show you guys how most of you will be doing it at home. So that was hard to get in. It's pushed into the tube. I'm going to grab a bit of masking tape so I don't scratch your fitting. Hold on to that. Find the spanner. And I'm going to wind it down, and I'm going to keep an eye on it to make sure it's not pushing the braid out. I've got my finger on there between the fitting and the braid so I can feel if it is pushing, which I can feel it's not. And it should starting to get really tight just before the bottom. So it should be a strain to get to the bottom of the thread out. If it bottoms the thread out easy, you haven't gone far enough. You should be able to nearly not get it to the thing within reason. Obviously I'm using a short spanner. So I've just got it to the bottom there. And I'm going to test this one to show you guys. You probably should test them all. I'm pulling on that. Put it in this way so I can get some suet onto it. Pull it as hard as you can. You can't pull that out of there. That hose is good, solid, and probably a bit too tight if any, because you can't. I can't swivel the swivel anymore, so I've made it good. There you go. You can still swivel it. A bit of a tight O-ring. So there you go. That's hose number 1. We'll put that up there, and I'll work out, make sure that I got my measurement right, because now's the time to cut it. If I have to cut it, I'll make the next one. Rightio, so I've just made that obviously, and then I'll put it up here. Now I try to make it long, so that I've tried not to have too many of these big loops, but this one has to loop. Now I try to make it a bit longer because they loop nicer when they're longer. But in looking at that, it's going to rub on those wires all the time at the back of that pump. So if I pull it shorter, it gets it off the wires. So I'm going to pull it a bit shorter and chop it off. And then I am going to waste 2 inches of hose, but a little change of plan along the way. That's just what happens sometimes. And that'll be nice hose. So there you go. I'm sure most of you guys have made heaps of these things before, but there's a lot of people out there that haven't. I'm always getting asked to show more tech and show more detail, so just show you little bits and pieces. Like I say, I'm no expert on this stuff. It's just something I've had to do over the years to build the cars I want to build. I will get back. I've had heaps of call for, just reminded me, heaps of call for welding tips. We haven't done any welding for a while, I know, but we're in for a treat, because I've just bought a new welder that's sitting over here next to the notcher that I bought not so long ago that I still haven't used, but I will get the notcher set up soon and I will start using that, and I will definitely looking forward to this. This is like my dream welder. I've wanted one of these for forever and a day, as long as I can remember, and yeah, so I finally got one. They're very expensive and they're supposed to be the best TIG welder money can buy. They're pretty old school in their operation, but they're robust, and yeah, just regarded as a really good welder. A Syncrowave, Miller Syncrowave 250, the 3-phase unit. It's a big welder, as you can see next to the truck there. It's quite big. You also see my diff gear sitting on the back there. That's for bumping, so I'm going to put those in there. But yeah, I'm going to get the notcher and the welder set up, so when the Monaro is done, I can get back my popular demand and finish the chassis on the tube bottom cage in the Toronto, which I will definitely be showing you guys all through that. So don't despair. If you're here for welding tips, I'll be planning more to come. There you go. There's hose number 1 in. Knock that up a bit. Get it up nice and tight. And it's good. It's all starting to come together. You remember we did modified the factory tank way back in the early episodes, and to make it take all this stuff, and it's a nice feeling when it all starts to come together and we're getting close to the end. It all fits nice there, no dramas, nice and straight, any silly whoops or anything. There's no kink in the hose, it's just nice flowing bends. So I won't bore you with the rest. I'll jump in and come back later when we're finished. Righto, so all done. Yes, I've got a zippy tie there just until I put a little cushion clip on it, clamp I should say. It wasn't too hard once you get in the swing of things. So we'll go through. So we welded way back when our dash 10 fitting into our stock tank. We've come out of that the 90 round into the pump. I'm not running a pre-filter. This thing's not going to do many miles. It's a slap together, remember? Otherwise normally we would run a pre-filter out of the pump back into the filter, and then filter, that's where I've stopped there. That's going to go all the way up to that regulator. I've got to run the line through the car, which I'll save for another day. And then our other fuel system comes out, same thing again, at dash 10, daps down to a dash 8, comes around to that sexy zippy tie, around into our carter pump, and out of our carter pump into a little filter, and then it'll run down there, and with the other fuel line all the way up to the nitrous regulator. And then while I run those, I've also got 2 returns. One will block off, probably will go up to a breather, and the other one will be probably that one, be the return for the main regulator. So that'll return to the top of the tank there. And we've already run the wires, and we've actually already wired the pumps. Let's wire those up. So that's it. We just run those lines. 1 feed, 1 return, up and back in the car. And 1 feed up for the nitrous. We're going to mount the nitrous bottles in the back, run the nitrous, and then plumb up the nitrous system at the front. And we're just about there, getting close. I'm loving the old ratty car with the nice shiny new parts going in. Well, lots of second-hand parts, but anyway, lots of nice new hose. We've sort of run out of hose. We normally got heaps at the shop, but had to get some on Friday. So there you go. We're getting very close here. We'll go through, diffs all in, drive shafts in, pipes. Obviously been through that. Shifter cable. We just got to put a little clip up to get that up where it needs to go. Headers up, cross members in. You guys all got to see all that. Hopefully you guys that have been with me since episode 1 when we dragged this dirty old shell out are getting excited as I am. So starter motor all worked out around the pipes nicely. The front end I'm really happy with. That's all came up really nice. The brakes all reconditioned. The lines all came up really good. As our Autofab radiator development project. Just got the old second-hand alternator and pulley kit on there. That was a mission. That was nearly destroyed. Broke the camel's back, that bastard. But it's in there. It fits. It is rubbing in one little spot, but I'm pretty sure I can Pretty sure I can get the lever bar in there and just push it off the cross member. Just misses on that side, but it probably needs to clearance a little bit too. Guessing that's just because the engine mount's settled. You can get the filter in and out. You can get the starter in and out, and the steering misses everything just. So there you go. It's coming along nicely. Obviously that pipe's nice and close to the engine mount, but that's the one you can get out. There's our nice snazzy new front end and brake lines. It's all happening. Well, that's it for me today, guys. I am pooped. It's dark outside now. It's been a massive day working on the Monaro. It's getting so close. Chevy's over there. He's tuckered. He's ready for his dinner. Chevy, you want your dinner? Oi, you hungry? Yeah, he's always hungry. One thing that dog can do is eat. And so I better take him home and feed him. It's getting late. We've had a big day. Yeah, like I said, the ute back there, it's just about ready. We're going to change the diff gears and get that ready for 2 weeks' time to race at Kenda. I've got to change everything back from the no prep setup back to radial. Suspension changes, definitely the tune. So I have to tune her up for a radial pass again. So do whatever you can do. Get in there, find Cleetus, track him down, put some comments up there. Tell him this little Aussie ute wants that first fall before he gets it. And hopefully we can do this for Australia and the YouTube community. I really, really like to put that 4 up on those scoreboards, that's for sure. And the Monaro is getting so close. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked by bumping, but it is still happening, and it's gonna happen pretty soon. Actually, it's very, very close. So like, subscribe, find Cleetus, track him down, let him know we're coming after him. And merchandise, thank you. There's been heaps of merchandise orders lately. Really appreciate it. It really contributes to the channel. It's great. So I think we just got another batch in last week of printing, and I think there's 4 XL shirts I think are on back order, but everything else is in stock. So order away, motorfab.com. Thank you very much for watching.